Podcast Network Asia.
Hi, this is Alec Cuenca, and you're listening to Small Talk. Hey guys, welcome back to Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. My name is Alec Cuenca, and I'm your host. And before anything else, I would like to greet each and every one of you who are listening right now. Welcome back to the show. If this is your first time, then I hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you do, then go ahead and check out the other episodes because they have a lot of amazing insights that I know that will benefit you as well. If you are an avid listener of the podcast, then welcome back. I hope that you enjoyed this episode because this is a very, very special episode. Today, we have a guest na hindi lang ako yung talagang excited. Alam ko marami sa mga listeners na nakikinig ngayon ay talagang fan ng ating guest for today. Our guest for today is a registered psychometrician, an online educator, a motivational speaker, and an author. She was selected as one of the YouTube Next Up winners for 2017 and remains active in the creator community here in the Philippines. She was also invited as the only Filipino panelist at YouTube EduCon in India in 2018. She was recently chosen as one of the YouTube and UND Peace Creator for Change ambassadors for APAC. Her goal is to democratize education here in the Philippines and just maybe the entire world. She's one of the most sought-out resource speakers here in the Philippines, and she is the host of the podcast Get Hired and Trying Hard. She is truly an inspiration to a lot of people and my main inspiration of starting my own TikTok account. Let's all welcome Laika Maravilla. Coach Laika, welcome to the show.
Hi, Alec. Thank you for having me, and thank you for those kind words. Yeah, I didn't know that, by the way.
Which one?
You knew about my content before you started your own TikTok.
Yeah. You were the first educational content that I saw on TikTok. So I figured, pwede pala yung ganun. Pwede palang magturo or mag-share ng message dito sa TikTok. Akala ko before, it was like lip-syncing and just dancing. Pero nakita ko, I created my own account, which is the Small Talk Podcast. And I post daily motivational content there. And I'm really excited because matagal na po kitang niyaya or matagal na sinabihan sila ni Kai. Actually, for when I signed under Podcast Network Asia, they asked me who would I like to have on the show, and you were on the top of the list. So thank you so much for spending your afternoon with us.
No worries. It's really a great opportunity for me to have a conversation with you. I know I probably would learn a few things then from you. And by the way, Nikai and everyone from Podcast Network Asia, thank you for making this happen. Sorry lang talaga with my schedule. Medyo mahirap talaga. Pero I'm so happy na Alec was patient. Waiting to make this happen. So, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, the honor is all mine. And let's dive right in. I read that you graduated magna cum laude and you ranked first in the October 2013 civil service examination. But I want to know, how did you get started in creating content? What's the story of the leap from a very traditional path to a more exceptional road of being an educational content creator?
You know what, Alec, and I hope that the younger listeners who are hearing this right now would parang lessen yung fear nila or anxiety about their future. In me saying this, no, if you ask me 10 years, kahit 7 years ago, na this will be my life, I probably would have laughed you off. Kasi the role of being an educator didn't even exist sa minds ng people at the time. So walang pre-planning, walang anything like that. Like I can't claim any of this as mine. Kasi nga parang I had to grow into this role. So yes, very traditional, honestly, yung upbringing. Correct ko lang na it was actually April 2013 yung civil service exam. Maka i-Google nila tapos hindi nakita yung name. Sabihin, it's a time. Yeah, but yeah, kasi I grew up in a household na we didn't have a lot of means. Like resources were limited. Of course, my parents prioritized their education. Pero for most of my life, it was simple. The messaging was simple. Getting a good education is your way out, diba? Of poverty, of yung life beholden to people. So I knew I had to really study hard, even as a kid. And my family tried to nurture that then. kasi in us, supported us naman. Enroll naman kami sa mga review center kahit na hindi kami nakakasuot ng branded na sapatos. It was the obvious choice for them. Eh. Invest in their education, tapos eventually after you graduate, ano nangyayari? You end up as an employee. Diba? Ganun eh. It's the safe route. It's the traditional route. So it wasn't easy transitioning into this. And I would say this, no, even my family, especially when it was starting, it didn't make sense to them. And Zandy, who works with me, basically my right-hand woman, kahit siya, when I was starting out, inamin niya to sa akin a few days ago. Kasi we knew each other as friends before we even worked together. Sabi niya, at the time though, it also didn't make sense to her. Kasi I had very low viewership. Tapos wala akong brand deals, wala akong support. I was doing everything, guerrilla, ako lang mag-isa. And I decided to go full-time. So it really didn't make sense on paper. But the thing is, I guess, when it comes to what I do, yung passion talaga and purpose comes before profit. So I had to take the risk simply because I knew that much like me when I was growing up, education is a way out for a lot of people. I know that, lalo na in the marketplace of, motivational speakers and people, entrepreneurs who would tell you na quit, basta pursue your passion, whatever it is. You don't need a college degree. It's true naman din. Valid din yung experience na yun. It's also true and has proven to be effective for a lot of people. But the truth is, if you're a first generation na, out of the slums, which is, kami kasi second generation eh. My mom lived that life. Limited talaga yung options mo. Yung pursuing your passion straight after high school, medyo siya, in many ways, privileged na position pa rin siya. I know people would disagree with me, medyo controversial, but that's how I see things. So for a lot of my students, passing that one test will literally change their lives. It will get them into good schools, which will prepare them to get into good universities, which will prepare them to get into good jobs. And then maybe then they can look back and, be that person who provides for the family, at least enough for their children to have better and more choices for the next generation. It's a slow and painful crawl up the rungs, the social economy, pero it's necessary, I feel. So that's how this happened. I saw a need, tried my best to utilize all the tools, social media kasi free yung platform na yun, as a method of me reaching out to people. And then this is what I've been doing for the past 5 years.
Yeah, that's really interesting because you can hear from a lot of motivational speakers, quit. Now, you don't need school, you don't need to go to college, but you actually managed to use the traditional path and make a not very far away path from there, but you use the tools that you already have and tried to be flexible about it and create content that is really both entertaining and very, very informative. And so can you just take me back to the moment that you said it was a hard time, right? It really didn't make sense. But you said that you found your passion. What was the moment where you said, okay, I love doing this, and maybe the people who are listening right now can also be aware of that kind of aha moment in their lives?
Maybe it's just for me, no? Pero maybe it is also the same for a lot of your other listeners. For me kasi, kahit siguro as a kid, I knew that having a good life for myself isn't enough for me. Like, if there's one thing that I'm addicted to, I know it's a hard word to use, but I'm addicted to, like, basically helping people believe that they can be more than they think they are. Yung seeing the way that people's eyes light up when they understand something that they didn't understand before, that's always been something na nagbibring sa akin ng joy. And I was just talking to one of my high school best friends a few weeks back. Sabi niya sa akin, hindi naman ako naggugulat. Nagulat din ako na sinabi niya to sa akin. Hindi ako nagugulat that you ended up like this. Kasi kahit nung high school tayo, I used to sit down with them for hours on end minsan hanggat hindi nila naiintindihan yung lesson. Like, ganun ako kakulit daw. Or I will try my best to reword things, rephrase things, use metaphors para mag-click yun sa kanila. So that has always been my drive, yung passion niya na sinasabi. Pero intersection siya of a lot of things, which I think kids these days need to hear. It's not one thing. And in my case, again, this role, being a YouTube educator or an online educator, this didn't exist years, just a few years back. So to say na, okay, high school ako or senior high school ako, I will need to pick a strand and that would be my passion. Medyo minsan ano siya hindi pa siya hinog. Kasi it can be an intersection of a lot of things that you love. So ayun, I love teaching or enlightening people. I kind of dabbled in script writing then kasi I used to write scripts for plays and short films and stuff like that. So may onting theater background din ako. So may performance aspect. And then shooting videos was also a passion of mine. My lola gave us a mini DV camera back in, ano ba yun? I guess early 2000s pa yun. And that was what we used before. So intersection siya of a lot of things that I wanted. So it's really not just one thing. But at the end of the day, again, more than, yung self-fluffing that's involved in pursuing your passion, you really have to go back to, like, who inspires you? Who is the reason behind this drive? And for me, what got me hooked was the first batch of learners for Team Laika's content. They even set up the Facebook page. Like, I was stuck with the name. Like, I never really liked the name Team Laika kasi parang ang celebrities na Team Kramer, ganun. But I was stuck with that kasi sila talaga yung nag-inspire sa akin to go this route talaga. Na, okay, it's more than just sharing what I know. It's actually changing lives. And yun, 5 years, super worth it naman.
Yeah, I love that. I love that story. Na before it was just it's like an intersection of a lot of things. And first and foremost, of course, yung ikaw nga, yung gusto mong gawin, the things that you love doing. But more importantly, I think it intersects with something bigger than yourself. Like when you see other people light up, you can feel na you're not just doing this for yourself, you're doing it for other people. I think that's one way that people could also find their passion, because I honestly believe that the term is purpose. The purpose is like the intersection of passion and service, right? And so a lot of people, you can really just focus on discovering your passion, what you like doing, what you're really good at, and then trying to find a way to fill in a need na hinihingi sa'yo ng society na pwede mong magbigay ng value sa ibang tao. And I think that can ultimately help them decide on what they could pursue in life. And I noticed, Coach Laika, I can't help to see that it's not just pure talent. It's just not, you really love what you're doing. It's not just that. You really put in the hard work. Like I saw your YouTube video. It has like 800 plus videos. And that's on YouTube alone. I just want to know, especially in the times when you were just starting, when you were just figuring it out, what kept you going? And what can you say is like the biggest motivator that you had before?
I know it sounds cheesy if I say this, no? And a lot of people would say, oh, you say that because right now you have millions naman or you're earning from it or stuff like that. But one thing that I know my family can vouch for this, and Zandy can vouch for this again. Everyone in my life who knows me personally, they know that I've been speaking this way for the past 6 years now of my life. I always tell people, if a video I made helps just one person, isang tao lang, then all the hours I put into it, all the tears, the frustration, yung ewan ko, Alec, kung ako lang ha. Pero when you hear your voice sa video or sa, di ba hanggang ngayon parang, naiinis pa rin ako. Minsan namamali ako ng edit kasi hindi ko pinapanood ng buo. Kasi naiinis ako sa voice ko. All of that, and subjecting myself, of course, to criticism, to bashing, all of that would be worth it. So it's been the same dun sa first video, which is actually a video that I made for just one person naman talaga, and then accidentally ni-discover ng iba. So that same feeling is the same hanggang ngayon. 6 years into it, I know from an outsider's perspective, kasi sometimes pag educational content mo, it's really slow. Hindi kasi siya trendy eh. So it's very rare na for the first week ng release ng videos, you get 10,000, kahit 10,000 lang 10,000 views. Hindi katulad if siguro I make a prank video, maybe that could gain more traction. But that's okay. Kasi nga again, even getting 1,000 views, say, in a week for one video is already so much more than what I used to get before. And I also used to teach in a classroom setting eh. So I used to have a class, Paul Gov, one of my favorite classes to teach back then. Nade-date ako kasi wala ng Paul Gov ngayon, no? Paul Gov prof ako noon. I would travel from QC to Ortigas to teach 10 kids. Twice a week ko yung ginagawa. Yung sacrifice na yun, di ba? for 10 kids. But now I get to teach hundreds, thousands, minsan mas marami pa. So it's always worth it. Going back to that one person. That's actually the driver. Like if one person is helped, that's good. And that is something that's really true to me. A lot of people say it sometimes. I guess you would agree with me kasi di ba getting started with the podcast, di ba? I mean, hindi naman mag-viral ka agad or hindi naman mag-aakit ka agad sa charts. Like I've been at it for a few months na rin with Podcast Network Asia. And numbers, hindi naman siya lagi nagpipick up eh. But again, going back to that idea, and if this is able to change one life, then I'm good. Like the comments sometimes, or minsan the personal messages, or even the ones who don't even respond, yung mga silent listeners or silent viewers, the fact lang that you made them smile for a day makes everything worth it. So, if my aspiring podcasters, content creators here, I implore you to reconsider your stats. Views, all of these, of course, analytics, that's important. Pero that would follow if you truly believe in your content. Kasi yun na yung end eh. Once I release it, it's out there, my work is done. Anything that happens after that would be just parang bonus for me.
Yeah, I could really connect to that because I think it was in Christmas break. I was really lazy, creating podcast episode, and I was looking at one particular episode and it wasn't doing very well because, when I joined TikTok, the numbers rose in the podcast as well, and there was this one episode that had like 50% ng mas mababa compared to usual na nakuha ko. And but it's still like 500 listens. Tapos, naisip ko na parang, ano ba ginawa ko mali? I was trying to beat up myself for, what did I do wrong? Something like that. And I was really demotivated. But every time, ang ginawa ko noon, I tinignan ko yung mga memories ko dun sa IG story. And I saw a particular picture na it was the first ever message that I got from a random stranger that said like, you saved me tonight. Thank you for your content. And every time now na tinatamad ako or I'm looking at the numbers, I'm worried on how the performance of the episode will go, I always go back to that. So it's a cliche. I know a lot of people are already hearing this, but it's really that, when you are a content creation with a purpose, if you just save just one person, you're good. That's it. And thank you so much for sharing that. Now I want to get into the main topic that I want to discuss with you because actually it's very timing because I have a brother right now and he's really having a hard time with the online setup. I have 3 brothers, one in college, one in high school, and one elementary. And the one in elementary is having a hard time dealing with the pandemic, the online setup. And so first and foremost, I want to know how important is habits or different practices in this setup right now in terms of, performing well in your academies?
I'll say something that could be misconstrued as well. So I hope that you listen to the entirety of the statement before you judge me. But I think that, doing the online setup or the modular learning setup, whatever that may be right now in the middle of a pandemic, is a great opportunity for kids to develop those habits that you're talking about, get to know themselves better, and be self-motivated. Like I tell students that all the time. I know this is far from ideal, okay? And a lot of students are being left behind. Yes. But for those who are able to have access to education, this is the perfect time and opportunity for you to go beyond the expectations of the traditional school setup. Bakit? Kasi when we talk about success in the long term, after graduation, like you hear a lot of adults say things like, bakit ba inaral pa namin tong algebra? Hindi ko naman gagamitin dito sa course ko. Or hindi ko naman na nagagamit itong literature in my course right now. Diba? Yung sabihin yung mga technical details, the actual information na pinapasa sa atin while we're studying, it's possible that you forget it. But who you become after the entire educational process is actually going to be your tool set, your toolkit when you enter the real world, the marketplace, diba? Yung corporate setup, or even if you're going to do freelance work. And I'll say this, no? Kasi medyo unsung heroes din yung mga freelancers dun or yung mga gig workers. People say na, ay, freelancer yan, siguro he or she couldn't cut it sa corporate world, or he or she has it easy. But the truth is, if hindi ka self-motivated, ni Kai, hindi ka pwedeng nasa non-traditional or non-corporate setup. Bakit? Kasi, deadlines, ikaw yung mag-manage ng time mo eh. wala kang body clock, wala kang fingerprint scanner na habulin mo every day. You don't need to physically confine yourself to a cubicle or a booth to work. So you have to find yung self-motivation na yun. And kids right now have that opportunity to build that habit of, wait lang, I'm learning because I'm going through this experience. It's a character building experience, more importantly than just a knowledge building experience. And if they learn more about themselves, like, here's the thing, a lot of people say, oh, magna cum laude ka kasi siguro pinanganak ka matalino. But the truth is, kasi I know how my brain works then. Okay? Now, I know controversial yung stats and studies about learning styles. No? I'm not talking to teachers having to use the actual learning styles. But learning style, as I know what works for me. I know that I need to take my own notes. Kasi yung notes ng ibang kaklase ko, it doesn't work for me. I know that things have to be visual for me. I need to make charts. I need to employ spaced repetition. All of these things I learned because I was a self-motivated student. So, kids ngayon, na hindi na sila kailangan mag-compete with katabi, di ba? Kasi dati, pag yung katabi mo na una nagpasa ng quiz, praning ka na. Parang, oh no, I must be stupid kasi my seatmate is done kasi ako nasa number 2 pa lang ako. Wala na nun sa online. So, na-eliminate na yung competition. Now, the real question would be, how far would they go to learn? And I think this is a great opportunity for the parents and you guys, kasi ikaw yung kuya to talk to your sibling and say na, you know, it's not just about the quiz. It's about yung character. It's about the experience of having to do the difficult things, the hard things in life, things that you don't find value in right now, knowing that these will strengthen you in the future. You know how athletes train, diba? I used to play basketball sa high school. And I hated yung drills. Planting rice, yung mga athletes na alam nito, yung planting rice na drill, di ba, takbo ng takbo. Sa loob ko, kailan ba tayo magbabasketball? Magbasketball na lang tayo, right? But it's those painful drills that will equip you with the right skills para pag nasa court ka na, meron kang endurance, meron kang grit. Pag binangga ka, hindi ka tutumba. Magugulat ka na lang, ha? Relevant pala to dun sa gagawin ko on court. Minsan ganun tayo Balik tayo sa, mag-quit na lang kayo na school, di ba? Mag-pursue na kayo passion. Well, yeah. Pero if you're telling people to quit at the first sign ng difficulty, maybe what we're raising is a generation who will be seeking out yung shiny things in life, tas distracted, pero walang commitment. Kasi alam natin, again, as you grow into an adult, you have to do a lot of things that you don't enjoy to enable you to do the things that actually matter. So, yun yung feeling ko kailangan maintindihan muna ng kids ngayon, and then the rest, those will follow na lang.
That's very interesting. I didn't see it that way. I mainly thought like, well, I went to elementary and high school. I was able to go through swiftly. I expect you to do it the same. Pero hindi natin nakita na this is actually an opportunity to, kasi iba nga yung nangyayari ngayon, which is wala ng competition, and this is actually an opportunity for them to be self-motivated and to learn more about themselves and to teach them not to quit on a very difficult thing, which is a really difficult thing na lahat tayo pinagdadaanan right now. And so, before we actually head on to the next question, let's hear it from the other shows from Podcast Network Asia.
Hi there, my name is Laika Maravilla. Has anyone ever called you a try-hard? Is trying hard a bad thing or a good thing? Let's talk about that in the Trying Hard with Laika Maravilla podcast, brought to you by Podcast Network Asia and Podmetrics.
I want to ask, maybe there are students right now who are listening now. Okay, this is opportunity for me to better myself, to not quit, but I still don't know where to start. Can you share some of your habits? Like when you were studying before, and maybe they could learn some study habits that they could apply in their lives to, perform better in their academies.
Okay. I think we first have to look at our lives as a series of seasons in life. Mm-hmm. Like if this season of your life requires you to be a student or a learner, so be it. Like may that have your full commitment. So, student first tayo. Ibig sabihin, if you're a student athlete, you are a student first. If you're a student leader, student first ka pa rin. Student volunteer, whatever, student ka pa rin muna. Ang ayaw ko kasi mangyari is that we fall in love with everything outside of our responsibilities, that we don't have time for what we really need to do. I mean, there's this kid who asked me, parang, Coach, ano po yung papapayin nyo? Kasi ayoko na talaga mag-school. Sabi ko, mag-aral ka mabuti so you can get out of school faster.
I mean, if the requirement of parents mo na before you go off into your own world or before you leave the house dapat may degree ka, edi study fast, study hard para you're done, di ba? Again, that's how we frame things muna. Like, this is a season in my life. I will make the most out of it. And then the next would be this. You have to really get rid of FOMO. I'm trying to speak, kahit titang-tita na ako, sa language na medyo naintindihan ng mga Gen Z. No? Millennial kasi ako eh. But for the Gen Z kids there, di ba? FOMO is fear of missing out. The truth is, you will really have to make a lot of choices. You will miss out on a lot of things. Ang kapartner niyan is the fact that students are different. So yes, you probably will have a classmate na mag-Among Us kayo, marathon kayo buong gabi, and then tomorrow pag nag-quiz, perfect niya pa rin kahit hindi siya nag-aral. Tapos kayong lahat bagsak. There are kids like that. There will always be kids like that sa class. Meron ding kids who will do the same, fail, and don't care. Meron ding students na ganon. Again, if they're privileged, hindi na kailangan ng good grades, if they don't need to rely on getting a scholarship to get them through college, good for them, right? But your story can be different. And you should shrug off yung feeling ng, if I make this decision to study instead of play, I'm missing out on things. Kasi your friends, or at least the friends who will matter, will understand those sacrifices later. You have to make that decision. So one thing that I remind people is this, no? Saying yes to one thing can mean saying no to everything else. So once you're committed, you have to understand that, may mga bagay talaga hindi mangyayari. May mga hindi pwedeng pagsabay-sabayin. Ayokong, again, very motivational speaker, minsan yung sasabihin na, you can be everything you want to be. Well, ideally, yes. Pero you can be, I guess, one or two things at a time. For example, sa akin, I focused on content creation, so wala akong jowa. So I can't do other things that I love, like art. I can't pursue that path kasi all of my time is focused here. So again, you have to make a lot of hard decisions. And then the next thing would be, again, schedule, plan. Tapos, of course, follow through. Kasi ang time, whether you like it or not, lilipas yan. So I actually hate yung phrase na time management kasi you literally can't manage time. Like, you can try, pero time will move whether you like it or not. So you can't manage time. You can't slow things down, even if things feel a little slow. Pero tatakbo pa rin yan eh. So what you could do would be self-management. Like, make sure that you really talk to yourself, no? Ang nakakatawa ngayon, no? Kasi when I was growing up, syempre mas bata sa akin si Alec, aminin ko na yun. When I was growing up, when people say na, ay, naku, kinakausap niya yung sarili niya. Parang tingin ng mga tao lagi may mental health disorder siya. And then self-talk was introduced as a good way to prime yourself, right? So self-talk can really help. Tell yourself na, okay, I have to do all of these things that I listed ngayon para tomorrow would be a free day for me. Again, modular learning enables you to do that eh. Tapusin nyo na lahat, di ba? Para libre na kayo for the next 2 months, di ba? You can do that. So challenge yourself, talk to yourself, plan everything down, and then follow that. And then another thing would be this, you have to hack your brain a little bit. We all hear about dopamine, right? Dopamine is what makes you feel good sa brain. So pag may nakakuha ng text sa crush, notification that someone liked your post, it's basically the same hormone. And actually, you can hack your brain in that you can parang create yung feeling na yon or replicate yung feeling na yon every time you do something good. Every time you make a right choice. So say, nakatapos ko yung module ko for today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to celebrate that. So sisigaw ko sa bahay, tapos na ako sa module ko. Yay, happy. I'll eat something good. I'll reward myself. I'm kind of hacking my brain. So that the next time, my body will want me to do something productive to make me feel good. Yan. Of course, with moderation din. Kasi iba naman sobrang workaholic na. No? kaya sumobra na doon. No? Hindi na nagiging masaya kung hindi nagpa-function well. Pero, again, think of it that way. And of course, stop comparing yourself to others as well. And I'll remind you with that. Then I tell kids all the time, is pag may opportunity ako, who you become means more than what you become. This is not the season for you to say na ang grades ko dapat flat 1 lahat or minsan ganun lang talaga eh. Hindi talaga siya yung perfect for the situation. So if you can't thrive, at least survive, and then the rest of your life will play out. Let's not be too harsh on ourselves as well. You have to really forgive yourself.
Yeah, that's a very jam-packed answer. Guys, if you are listening right now, I think that's a short a masterclass that you experience on how to hack your brain and to reframe your thinking into having better grades. And so please apply everything that you hear right now. And I just want to highlight the one thing that you said. It's like we need to eliminate the fear, the FOMO. And I really didn't think of that. Like, if we say yes to a particular thing, we basically say no to a lot of things. And I could now see clearly why my brother is having a hard time, because he's trying to balance playing games, spending time with his classmates, and studying. But when hindi natin napapansin na actually yung modules nga maaga binibigay. So if pag binigay na yan, you gotta focus and you gotta eliminate the FOMO and just be dedicated and committed to finishing the modules before you can actually do the things that you want to do, diba? And so thank you so much for sharing that. Now, one thing that you said is that sometimes hindi ganun talaga, hindi talaga like flat one. Sometimes hindi ka mag-thrive, you just need to survive. I just want to ask, have you ever experienced, because we all know about your recognitions, your awards and all of that, but can you share us a little bit of a story on you experiencing a setback? Like, what was your rock bottom in terms of your academe and how did you deal with it?
Okay. But here, actually, that question is hard to answer, not because I don't have any, but because I have so many. And isaswabe plug ko na rin dito yung podcast ko. But the main reason why I put up yung Trying Hard podcast is this. I want to shed light on the fact that we are all people who failed at one point or another, or in my case, many, many times before. And we need to break the image na in order for you to make it, you have to be perfect. In order for you to be successful, you have to be 100% okay with every aspect of your life. Because it's really not true. Anyone who tells you that they have their entire life in order is probably lying or trying to sell you something, no? Kasi it's not true. It's really not true. Sa akin, siguro, marami pero siguro sa akin, sa academic side, the safe answer would be, when I was in first year sa psychology, pwedeng i-ruler yung grades ko. Like, at that time, I had the highest GWA for the school record yon. Nung time na yon, nung first year ako. Second year, I got distracted. So, from President's Circle, which was basically a step higher than Dean's List, bumaba ako to regular Dean's List. So that is a safe answer. But the real answer is this. I dropped out of UP twice. A lot of people don't know that, or they refuse to acknowledge that. But it's true. I didn't finish my psychology degree sa UP. I got into UP, but my course back then was BAPA. Public Administration. It was chosen by my parents for me kasi they wanted me again to have a stable life. So ang idea was pag public ad ka, tapos mag-government employee ka after para stable, para may bigas every month, ganon. So yun yung plan for me. But after a year and a half of trying to make it a UP, and combined with my social anxiety, with getting depressed, being away from my twin sister, kasi I have a twin sister, first time namin na magkahiwalay kami ng college, yung adjustment na yon, not having friends. Kasi I was the only person from Quezon City Science High School in that course, public ad. So talagang alone. Tapos hindi ako mahilig magtanong sa ibang tao kasi I feel na I'm going to bother them. So kahit yung mga classroom sa UP, lagi ako naliligaw, parang gano'n, ilang beses ako hold up. So it was really an unpleasant experience. Plus may stalker pa ako nun. Besides an entire thing, Alec, baka ibang episode na lang yan. So I had a really hard time with UP. So after a year muna, I actually tried to take my own life. So trigger warning pala, hindi ko nasabi before. Because I wasn't doing as well sa academics ko. In my entire life, I was okay. Like I was doing really great, or kung wala akong gana mag-aral, higher, above average pa rin kahit hindi ako nag-exert ng effort. Yun yung idea ko nun. So first time na I wasn't doing well because I wasn't showing up in my classes. Minsan, pasok pa lang yung ikot sa UP, kumakabog na yung dibdib ko, no? Tapos bababa na ako. Hindi na kaya talaga. Sobrang anxious ko. And so, I basically decided, sabi ko, sige, I'll try for one more sem kasi that was what my parents wanted for me. Siyempre, kapasok na yung anak mo sa UP, di ba? Parang, pagkakataon na yan, anak, di ba? Huwag na sayangin. Although, I kept begging them na ayoko na po talaga. We tried for another sem, and then it really didn't work out. Sabi ko, hindi ko na talaga kaya. So, I went into seminary first. And then I went into psychology. So that was my journey. The second time was for UP Law. which again didn't make sense for a lot of people. At the time naman, I had to choose between going full-time into law, kasi ang law, hindi naman pwedeng side hustle yan eh.
Yeah.
Laking commitment ng
Yeah.
UP Law. So, full-time student pa ako noon. Tapos I was teaching part-time so I can have money for my books because it's expensive, really. And then I was starting to create content online. So, nasa crossroads ako ng buhay ko. Tapos I was also taking the board exam for psych. Sabi ko, I had too much on my plate.
Mhm.
And then, nung na-reveal na sa akin, okay, content creation can be a better route for my, better spend ng time ko rin. Kasi if I stay in law school, it will be 4 years of my life dedicated to this. I decided to choose content creation. So, I dropped out of UP again. So, hindi lang ako UP dropout. I dropped out of UP twice. And when people tell me, oh, go back to UP na for your master's or for education unit so you can take the let. I tell them, ayoko na pumasok ng UP, mamaya lalabas na naman ako, hindi ko na ma-explain to me. Pangatlo naman na to. Ano na, pananindigan mo na ba? So, that's, again, something that we need to talk about. Like, we need to talk about these things. I also experienced failing. I had a really bad, it doesn't make sense right now, no? Pero again, that's what happens when you have a mental health disorder. I had an idea then na it has to be flat one or wala.
Mhm.
So I remember I even had a math 17 class. I was doing really well. Tapos last namin na unit test, I made one mistake. Perfect ako, halos lahat. Perfect talaga ako sa lahat ng quizzes, lahat ng exercises. Until that one unit test, nagkamali ako ng isa. You know, I dropped out of that class. Because sabi ko, hindi na ako perfect. Like may need ako to be perfect. It was like that. So, being who I am today and saying these things, I'm not just saying things to make you feel better, honestly.
Mhm.
I say things kasi I lived through it. So, I don't want you to exert that level ng irrational pressure sa sarili ninyo.
So how did you like bounce back from those experiences? Ano yung tumatakbo sa utak mo nung nangyari yun and then nag-shift ka? And then what was like, because for a person who also experienced anxiety, I know it's a really overwhelming thing to do, especially
Yes.
with sobrang dami nangyayari sa buhay mo and and alam mo na you're partly disappointing the people around you. It just becomes very overwhelming. What was going through your mind, and how were you able to like get back on track and just, you know, be happy again or be fulfilled again with what you're doing?
Okay. First, no, I realized na in my life there were still people who loved me or who wanted to love me for who I was.
Mm-hmm.
Yung unconditional love kasi honestly really heals a lot of people. I guess yung pinanggagalingan din kasi, and I was able to work through this then with my therapist, yung pinanggagalingan din ng feeling ko nun, and I write this in my journal din kahit nung when I was a kid, is that I feel like people love me for what I can do. Like, she's smart, kaya they love you kasi you're smart. They respect you kasi you speak well, parang something like that. Has to be something that you do. Pero strip all of those away, I feel that no one loves me talaga. Like, in my full brokenness, people don't love me. And I would say I had my lola to turn to. Kasi my lola said something to the effect na, actually this was after my first attempt to take my own life. My lola said, Apong, hindi yan mahalaga. Ano iniisip mo? Sabi niya, basta nandito ka sa akin, okay na, parang ganun. And she was the only person who said those words na narinig ko talaga. So that was the first healing moment. And then the next one was, realizing that, yes, lumalalim tayo, Alec. Pero realizing that not everyone who tries to do that actually lives to tell the tale. And the fact that I'm still here, or I was still there nung medyo bata-bata pa ako, I wanted to make full use of basically the second life that I have. Na this is the time, sabi ko na, things have to change. Like, the way that I thought before, it can't work anymore kasi that led me to this. So I had to close that chapter of my life and then move forward. And I remember my mom talking to me kasi after that whole episode happened, I wanted to tell everyone. Sabi ko, I don't want to be, parang nakukulong ka sa shame of that happening. And my mom told me, darating ang panahon na magkakaroon ka ng enough basically under your belt, na pag shinare mo to, it's not just a story of pain, but it's a story of redemption. So now, I'm at that point na in my life, na I get to share this, Not just to tell people na, oh, we all feel pain, but I tell students that all the time. You have to give yourself another shot. Kasi that is my life. Like this, all of this, wala to dapat. And right now, honestly, in many ways, halos, I'm approaching yung yung parang times 2 na nung age when I tried to attempt that. So basically, literally second chapter na to kasi it was same na yung length when I made that decision. Yun lang gusto ko. Like, I want to honor this opportunity to at least help people before they get to that point. Kaya I share my story and I share my vulnerabilities. Kasi it has to be said. If someone, inisip ko yun if someone told me pala nung time na yun, na okay lang magkamali ng isa sa quiz, it doesn't define you, hindi siya about your character. And I have a friend pa nga who told me, alam mo, para ka talagang ewan nun. Kasi para naintindihan ko kasi, of course, you had your anxiety speaking negatively sa'yo. Pero girl, lahat, ako nga yung math 17 ko, nakailang ulit ako Ganyan siya sa akin. Siya yung nakatapos sa UP kasi. You were really just piling all of these onto yourself. Pero akala ko kasi yung definition ko So, hindi. You have to understand that who we are, it can take a journey and a long journey at that to be that person. So, live through life lang muna. I know parang ang chill-chill nung pagkakasabi ko, no? Pero of course, learn everything that you could in this entire process so you can be yung fullness of who you are.
I love that. Medyo kanina kinikilabutan ako because medyo naiiyak na rin ako pero I was trying to hold it back kasi kaya baka maistorbo kita. Pero I was really touched because hindi lang, well, in some way, I thought my story of starting my own podcast was actually unique. Well, I know that it wasn't that unique because a lot of people can connect to it, but it's very, very similar to the message that you just said. I've said it in my previous episodes before that the people who will be there for you, who really love you, will be there for you at the end, kahit anong mangyari. And sa akin naman, hindi lola, but si mama ko, I also, trigger warning, I also tried to end my life back in 2017. That was 4 years ago. And sa akin naman, hindi naman sa grades. Sa pag-ibig naman, medyo marupok kasi ako. So sabi ko, hindi ko na kaya, ayoko na. Then nangyari episode na yon, narinig ko yun lang yung boses ni mama and sinabi niya na, nak, uwi ka na. And when I heard that, I snapped out. And then at that moment, I realized na, what am I doing? This is a total waste. I shouldn't be doing it. But at the moment, alam ko sobrang, ngayon kasi kaya na, madali na lang sabihin, iniisip ng mga tao, ngayon kaya niya sabihin yan kasi nalagpasan niyo na ganun. Pero the truth is, ganun talaga. Sobrang hirap talaga na sabihin yan pag andun ka dahil sobrang bigat na nangyayari. Everything's like black and white and you think that's the only option. But the truth is, if you just open your mind and ears for just a little bit, makita mo na there's so many reasons for you to keep going. And so, I did that as well. And I told to myself, when I got back here, pagkatapos mangyari yung episode na yun, nakita ko na there are a lot of people who are experiencing this, pero walang nagsasabi sa kanila na it's okay, it's normal. Maraming tao nakakaranas niyan. And that's the main reason why I created my podcast as well, is to remind people that it's normal. And the point of me sharing the podcast, it's not about my successes, it's about all of my failures. That's what I do in my podcast. That's why I feel like a lot of people can relate to it kasi parang, ang butaw-butaw naman itong nagsasalita na to, sobrang dami yung pinagdadaanan. Pero kaya nakaka-relate sila kasi they feel, they can see that they could, achieve a lot of things as well and, have an impact to other people as long as they keep going. So thank you so much for sharing your story here, Coach Laika. And I'm actually like off track na dahil I was really into your story. But yeah, I want to just ask a little bit more about maybe about burnouts. Because I feel like that is one major thing na pinagdadaanan ng mga tao ngayon. Not even in schools, even in work. And with the pandemic happening, it's just too much. They feel overwhelmed. They feel burned out. Have you experienced that? And how could people deal with burnout?
Yeah. I come really close at times. Honestly, I ended the year last year thinking of that Medyo flip lang a little bit kasi sabi ko, may 700 plus videos na online. I have maybe close to 500 on TikTok. Maybe I've done enough. Like gusto ko na lang talaga. Tama na, parang ganun. Kasi again, it comes with the territory, no, Alec, na you get bashed or the way you look or something. Syempre, it takes a toll on you. So wounds still hurt. Like, let's not sugarcoat things. Masakit pa rin minsan. So I always feel that. And I remember even before Zandy joined me as una kasi part-time muna siya, I was already considering quitting at that time. It was at the end of 2018. Sabi ko, ayoko na. Parang I've done enough na. Like, I tried my best. Okay na yon. Public service lang naman yung ginagawa ko. So maybe I can go back to my private life. So I have experienced that. But I guess in many ways, when you talk about burnout, minsan, ano lang siya eh. Una sa lahat kasi pagod na. As in physically pagod.
Mm-hmm.
I notice it happens more if I'm not deliberate about my time of rest. So one of the things that I am resolved to doing, last year din naman, pero ngayon mas strictly, is that I have one day every week na I don't work. Which is hard for me, honestly, kasi workaholic talaga ako. Pero ang compromise ko doon, light work lang. As in, editing lang ng TikTok video, pero bawal mag-shoot. As in, sobrang light work talaga. I force myself to oversleep a little bit, hang out sa room ko lang, eat snacks, watch a movie na for fun lang, hindi dahil gusto ko siya i-review. Like, all of these things na I do, pero it has to be one day, at least one day in the week. Na, whether you believe in God or not, diba, the idea of the Sabbath day and how after 6 days of work, God rested as a pattern of behavior for the humans is actually helpful. And we've seen that then even in social psychology or even in business psych, na kailangan talaga ng rest time ng people kasi kung hindi talaga sila magiging as productive. So, yun yung unang advice, pahinga. Another thing would be, you have to be, maliban sa pagpapahinga ka, you have to be deliberate about your rest. Like, a lot of people work for the weekend, and maybe some of you who are listening can relate to that. Yung, naku, malapit na mag-Friday, parang you are working para mabot na sa weekend. Pero pag weekend na, hindi rin natin na-utilize well. Kasi anong ginagawa natin pag weekend, nagbe-binge tayo.
Yeah.
So, sa mga habits that are not helpful. Diba? Nanonood ka ng K-drama. Nothing wrong with that. Okay? Baka magalit ka.
Disclaimer.
Nothing wrong with that. Pero yung behavior na hindi rin naman siya normal eh. It's not normal for you to sit in front of your TV or your screen for 26 hours straight. Eat junk food the entire time. Diba? Hindi ka matutulog, hindi ka magnanap. And just binge watch. Kaya nga siya binging eh. Kasi hindi talaga siya healthy na habit. Yung iba, ito todo yung games, di ba? To the point of exhaustion. When in fact, they could have used that time to really rest and, be alone with themselves. Ang nangyayari lang, again, yung same abusive pattern minsan sa work, na-enforced sa iba kasi pag-force sila mag-overtime. Pero you do the same thing sa sarili mo sa weekend. Like, you are not kind to yourself sa weekends. Ang nangyayari niyan, usually, and we've seen this happen to a lot of people, they feel guilty about their own behavior sa weekend. Parang, ako ba yan? Mag-Monday na naman. Sayang yung weekend ko. So, nandun sila sa loop na yon ng guilt, ng shame, ng mababang self-image. Kasi nga, again, parang walang nangyayari. When in fact, you can do things in moderation, choose to sleep well kapag weekend, parang plan out din your remaining time ng weekend to do something at least a little bit productive. For example, if you want to exercise, alam natin endorphins help. If you want to pursue a passion project, kasi totoo naman, ito realidad, no? One case kaya nagkaka-burnout ang mga empleyado is because they're working a job that they don't find value in. O edi use your weekend to start your side hustle. When I started creating videos, hindi ko rin siya full-time job ha. By the way. So, every moment lang that I get, so off, dun ko ginagawa yung mga videos na yun. So, you can start something, a pet project or something like that. Learn a new skill, something that makes you feel good. I had my mentor in one of the podcast episodes of Trying Hard, and she shared na she started taking up violin, even though she's a little bit older, a lot older na. And people would say, it doesn't make sense mag-violin ka pa at this age. Pero she did that kasi she wanted to learn something new. Like, do something like that would make you feel good about yourself. So, yun yung mga bagay. And again, if you really have to quit, okay lang din yun. Like, I'll say something medyo controversial again, Alec. Total podcast mo naman to. Like, for parents naman, if you feel like your kid is really unable to adjust, as in to the point of exhaustion, mentally stressed na talaga, in distress na sila, in despair na sila because of the setup, it's also not bad to let them stop muna until mag-resume yung normal classes. Yeah, I'll say it like that. You know why? Kasi, again, driving people to the point na feeling nila wala silang choice can actually do a lot of harm. So kapag nandun ka na sa level na burnout na talaga, kasi wala na eh. Yun nga yun, mabot tayo sa point na yun eh. Parang, ba yan? Let me just quit. Ayoko na talaga at all. Wala na energy for anything. Before your kid gets to that point, you can have them rest muna for a sem, for a term, for a year. Kasi minsan, ang totoong reason din why parents don't allow their kids to stop is because feeling nila mapag-iiwanan. Like if that's the only thing that's holding you back, you may want to have a conversation with your kid and consider letting them stop. Kahit sa mga career women and men dyan, kahit magpahinga muna kayo. Hindi masama magpahinga kasama sa buhay yan. Pero wag nyo lang ipamuhay, no?
Yeah. Wag ipamuhay ang pahinga. Ayun, guys, you heard it here. Well, I really love the things that you've said, especially the one with take rest deliberately or take deliberate rest. I think I also say that to a lot of the episodes that I do because alam niyo yan eh. If the things that you're doing on the weekend brings you guilt, shame, and then don't do it. Like if you're gonna binge watch Netflix and then afterwards you're gonna feel bad about yourself, then stop doing it. Alam niyo yan sa sarili niyo kung ano yung mga bagay. I really put emphasis as leisure. Leisure is something like just as you said, the violin, your mentor practiced the violin or learned violin. It's something that your body's actively participating while your mind is actually very calm. And so find that thing that rests your mind but actually puts your body into work. So light work lang naman. You know, if you want to go to the beach, hang out with your friends, do that. But make sure that you still plan it out and not binge it all and ma-stress ka na naman afterwards. So thank you so much. I just been told that we are about to approach an hour. Hindi ko naramdaman. Feeling ko marami pa akong dapat itanong sa'yo. And hopefully na lang I could have you again on my guest. Again, within the year para naman I know marami pa tayong kailangan pag-usapan, Coach Laika. So please let me invite you again for the coming months. And yeah, before I actually let you go, can I just ask you one thing? What advice can you give to people who first want to, if they are having a hard time, how to I think we already touched on that a little bit. But can you just summarize it? First is, what advice can you give to people who are having a hard time and wants to bounce back? And second, what advice would you give to people who are excelling but they want to better themselves?
I guess we can hit two birds with one stone. I'm not very good at speaking ng maikli. Alam ni Nika yan. Podcast episodes ko minsan, ako lang mag-isa, nasa 20 to 30 minutes pa rin. But what I'd say would be, you really need to do it for its sake. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Sige, balikan ko lang yung sinabi ko kanina, who you become means more than what you become. Whether you're starting from a point na nasa negative ako ng life ko ngayon or nasa top ako ng buhay ko. At the end of our lives, we have to understand that, I mean, yung poetic lang na idea na when we leave this earth, we can't bring anything with us. I guess the goal has to be the fullness of yourself sa end ng life mo. So in everything that we do, whether we're starting at a disadvantage, like yun, nagsisimula ako na maggumawa ng right choices lang muna, or naghahabol ako sa school kasi bumagsak na ako last time. We have to understand that the process is going to make you a better person. Hindi tayo masyadong dapat nakafocus or masyadong strict dun sa end results, as long as it's making you a better person. And if you're at the top of your game naman, again, same thing. Kasi if you're at the top of your game and you're sitting pretty and you're saying na okay na ako kasi nasa number 1 na ako ng podcast charts. Yes, Alec. Okay na ako. Di ba? Ganun. The moment that you do that, is that a character building choice? If it's not, then it's the wrong choice. So we always have to think about it that way. So kasama ng pagiging kind to ourselves is being kind about the end results. And also understanding that that is not the end of everything. I have an episode din nun. So, sorry, sobrang ma-plug, no? Pero kasi, okay. Medyo hindi maiko to, no? Pero yung, what do you do if you succeed? Because that is one of the biggest takeaways that I had in 2020. Kasi I didn't expect na, yun, mag-hit kami ng 1 million subscribers. Like, ang projection ko sa stats is it'll happen in actually 10 years. Tapos nangyari lahat last year. Like, nagulat talaga ako. Tapos it made me feel lost na parang, ano Ano nangyayari? Parang ang nangyayari, nadagdagan lang ako ng pressure. Hindi ko siya na-celebrate Nadagdagan lang ako ng pressure kasi ang dami nang nanonood. And when we get to that point, we have to understand na it's not the end goal. You're still alive So ibig sabihin, there's always something other than that. Try to push yourself further, but be flexible with the results. Sige. Yun na lang. Magsisimula na naman ako into another entire...
If nabitin kayo, guys, go ahead and listen to 2 of her podcasts. It's Trying Hard and Get Hired. Yes. Go listen to her podcast. It's under Podcast Network Asia as well. And I want to thank you, Coach Laika, for being here and sharing all of your insights and experiences. But before we actually end this podcast, I have a small segment here on Small Talk. It's called The Real Talk, where I ask you 5 questions. It's like fast talk, pero wholesome naman. And and you gotta answer with either one phrase or just one sentence. No explanation. Hindi na pwedeng pahabain. Okay.
Sige, I'll try.
Okay, the first question. If you could talk to your 18-year-old self, what would you say to him?
Ang hirap naman ng tanong. Pag RuPaul's Drag Race agad. Siguro what I'd say would be, you know nothing.
That's deep. You know nothing. That's a very unique answer. I love that. The second question is, name a person who you would want to talk to, dead or alive.
Let's get personal. I just really want to talk to my my paternal grandmother. Kasi my paternal grandmother is actually the master teacher of the clan.
Ooh.
Pero she didn't live long enough to see me do what I'm doing right now. So I would love to learn from her.
Yeah.
Haba na sagot ko, di ba?
The one sentence pa naman yun. Isang buong sentence lang yun. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that your paternal grandmother would be very, very proud of you, Coach Laika. The next question is, if you were an animal, what would you be?
Probably a lioness.
Okay, I'm gonna break my rule. Why a lioness?
I don't know, kasi the lioness is the one who goes out to hunt. And but knows that power also rests with the lion. If you look at the way that they celebrate the differences, gender conversation na to, Alex, for the current episode. Pero yung voluntary subordination of the lioness is, I feel, respectable. But do not underestimate them because they can really hit the lion kahit yun yung alpha for their cubs. So, yeah.
Yeah, lions like the king of the jungle, pero sa isa lang naman sila tumitiklop sa kanilang lioness. Okay. My fourth question is, if you could change one thing in this world, what would it be?
I guess I'll stick to my mission and vision, basically access to quality education. Like, I hope, see, I can't democratize education talaga, but I can, in what I do, I democratize access to education by creating free content. But I mean, imagine a world where knowledge isn't gatekept in the same way that it is right now. Now, you don't have to be elite, you don't have to be super rich for you to have quality education. One thing that pains me, sorry naman one thing that keeps me up at night is the knowledge that somewhere, in the slums of the country, other countries as well, there are geniuses there that aren't fed. Diba? Na yung brains nila are not stimulated. Parang nandun na pala yung makaka-discover ng cure for cancer, pero wala siyang pambayad ng tuition, di ba? Ang sakit nun eh. So, that's what I want to change.
Yeah, I'm sure, hopefully maabutan pa natin yung era na yun na the access to education is really for everyone na. And my last question would be, what do you want your legacy to be known for?
That I tried hard and I enabled people to do the same. We need to rethink the idea of success or the idea of great minds. Everyone's not perfect. The more you know about history and the figures of the past that people look up to, you look at Marie Curie and all of these men or women in science, and they also live very flawed lives. So hindi naman pala perfect lahat. Wag na tayo maglokohan, di ba? Kasi it gives other permission who are also not perfect to do the same thing, to reach for their goals.
Yes. Hindi kailangan nating mag-focus sa perfection. Kasi lahat tayo hindi perfect and we can still achieve great things. We can still impact a lot of people in our lives. So thank you for your amazing answers, Coach Laika. Probably the people who are listening right now already know you, know where to find you. But please, if they don't know where to connect with you, where can they find you?
Very, very easy naman to find. Just remember LYKA yung app. LYQA po ako. LYCA yung singer. So, just type LYQA kasi Angelique yung pinanggalingan nun, kaya Q siya, no? LYQA everywhere. So, I'm also on TikTok, Laika Maravilla, Team Laika. On Facebook din, Laika Maravilla, Team Laika. YouTube, same thing. And on podcast, of course, with our friends from Podcast Network Asia. There's Get Hired and yung Trying Hard with Laika podcast. If you want, parang ano ba to? I call it open heart surgery, where we talk about the painful things in life. That's where you can go to.
Yeah, sige guys, go. If you like this podcast, and I'm sure that if you like this podcast, then I am sure that you will also love Coach Laika's podcast. So go ahead and check out them on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts as well. And as well as the amazing podcast under Podcast Network Asia. So again, Coach Laika, maraming salamat. I enjoyed this. I did not expect that this would go this much very meaningful and very deep. I was just expecting like to get a few tips from you kasi first time pa lang natin, but I'm really happy that I really connected with you with your message, and I hope that I can have you again on the show. So thank you so much.
Of course, Alec. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yes, and that's it, guys. If you like this podcast, if you like this episode, then please go ahead and share this episode on Instagram. Do not forget to tag me at Small Talk Podcast because I really love reading all of your insights. So please tag me. And yeah, that's all I have for you for this episode. I hope that you learned something. And this is Alec Cuenca. This is Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. And I will talk to you guys next episode. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to Small Talk. For more updates, you can follow me at Small Talk Podcast on Instagram and on TikTok. That's at Small Talk Podcast on Instagram and on TikTok.
The views and opinions expressed by the podcast creators, hosts, and guests do not necessarily reflect the official policy and position of Podcast Network Asia. Any content provided by the people on the podcast are of their own opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything.